It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Acee, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just tryna save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week. It will lead you to the message that you seek.
It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
Welcome to the Real Word Season 6, Episode 30. Shout out to everybody that's been helping. Shout out to everybody that has been supporting so far, thus far. We thank everybody that follow us on Instagram. That's at The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram. The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram. You can catch us on Facebook, The Real Word 7. That's The Real Word 7, like Mike Vick. On Facebook, that's The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Facebook. Also catch us on YouTube, The Real Word TV on YouTube. That's one word, The Real Word TV on YouTube. Catch us on Pandora, Spodify, Soundcloud, and wherever podcast is found at The Real Word Podcast. Also catch us on the Brick TV every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon, 4 p.m. and 1 a.m. I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself, gentlemen.
You already know it's the one and only AI in the building. Add me on Instagram, Acee Irving 11. If you ain't know 11, I mean, yo, look, it's the 30th episode, right? So we gonna shoot out shot from long range like Stephen Curry.
I'm also here with a couple familiar faces. Introduce yourself, bro.
It's Fredens been here a few times. Showing love.
Another familiar face in the house. Introduce yourself, brother.
China Black underscore China underscore Black 718 like the brother just said, shoot at 30
And we here with a very special new guest. Her first time here on the show. Introduce yourself.
I'm Maryam.
Yo, shooters.
I'm Maryam, IG Mary Pippins with a Z.
See, she a shooter too. Scotty Pippen.
There you go.
So shout out to everybody that came on today. Shout out to everybody that has been supporting us thus far, so far, and that's helped us to get this far. This the last episode of the 6th season, so that's 6 seasons in. So we see y'all next for season 7. Hopefully it's another progressive. We hit 100K a couple times this season, so next season hopefully we hit 1 million. So we gonna see y'all next season for season 7. So this episode is mostly about money management and finances, you know, and that's one of the reasons why we got our special guest here today. She want to talk about certain things, how she got into the business and her experience with business. So you can start this off.
Okay. So, a little bit about myself. I was a bar restaurant owner for 8 years, and I was basically looking for something that would give me more portability and scalability because I was tired of being in one place every day for 8 years straight. Okay. And, that's what actually led me to the foreign exchange market, which is the largest financial market in the world. And a lot of people majority of the population don't even know about this market, right? It's short, that's the foreign exchange market, AKA the Forex market, is something that's, you know, not talked about as much. They won't teach you this kind of stuff in school, and that's what I manifested my way into. So a lot of the information that I have and a lot of information that I give out on a daily basis is information that could definitely change a situation. It definitely changed everything, the whole trajectory of my life. And I love spreading the word about it.
So you're saying it changed the whole trajectory of your life? In what way?
Because yeah, so it's not even about the financial freedom comes, but most people are searching for time freedom. Okay, so I was time broke. So I had the money when I owned a restaurant, but I didn't have the time. Okay, what good is time? What good is money with no time, and time with no money? It makes no sense. Okay, so you know, so most people are searching for the time freedom. Okay, and that's why most divorce rates are high, because people are working, and we develop. Now it's all about not trading your time for money. It's about letting your money make money for you and finding multiple streams of income. Because rich people, they don't work for money. They don't have jobs.
Exactly.
Okay.
When you working man hard, you don't got time to make more money.
No.
But it's true. He joking, but it's funny.
I'm not
No,
joking.
I'm dead serious though,
Yeah.
because I've been trapped in like 8-12-hour jobs and stuff like that. There's nothing you could really do.
Because once you get home, bro, you wanna
Right, you gotta
probably
pray.
eat your food. They be like, I'm not. You say, I'm about to go out. They be like, nah. Once you touch that bed,
You get stuck on that check, that 2-week check.
Yeah.
And then now you living from check to check and don't even realize it. You
Right.
hear a joke about it, check to check. You get
Right.
realizing you're living
Yeah.
check to check.
Well, why does everybody
you
live
see-
like this? Why does 95% of the population live like
It's
this?
a system.
Because that's
The
all
system
you were
is built
taught.
like that.
You were
People are
taught.
scared to become entrepreneurs.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead, sorry.
People are programmed for the 40-40-40 plan, and that's 40 hours a week for 40 years and retire off of 40% of your income.
And make
You know,
40,000-50,000.
And you can't even live off 100% of your income.
Yeah.
So people are programmed to be destined
us
for a
like that.
pension instead of for financial freedom.
Yeah.
That's why when your aunts and uncles, they retire, they get a job at 65 at Target. You think they want to be there helping these young people that are rude to them?
Part-time.
No, they just have to supplement their income.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they ain't got enough to make it.
In your
Right.
50s, you're supposed to be
Yeah,
traveling.
you said
you know?
that. I
And your
just seen an
50s, see,
older-
that's the
40s
mindset.
too.
That's your mindset. That's
No,
the
I'm talking about when
mindset.
you
now.
retire. Like, I'm talking about when you retire, probably, let's say 40s, and then after that,
That's
you
a
just-
mindset. When
True.
you're in the financial exchange market, you have 20-year-olds retiring at 22.
Nah,
When you
for
learn
sure.
a skill set like this, forget about the 40s and the 50s you're supposed to retire.
About
You just
20s.
brought it down 20 years from 60.
oh yeah.
But the
I retire young, too.
the new mindset is to retire younger.
Yeah.
Just to put,
So you can enjoy your life.
right, so you can enjoy your whole life. That's what the American dream gave you. It told you, you thought 60, so you thought to pull back a little bit better, and you thought to say 40s. That's a whole misconception. That's where your mindset is.
40s is for other people, not me.
Exactly, so don't tell them that.
I'm just trying to be generous.
Because I don't agree with that.
I'm not trying to retire at 40. Like, I'm trying to be in my 30s,
Exactly,
having
so
fun.
you got to watch what you say. You got to be mindful of what
But
you
you
say.
know,
Words is
but I'm trying to tell, certain people is not in, is probably in their 30s right now watching, so I'm telling them 40s, because,
Just-
You never know. A person
Look.
30 might become a multi-millionaire 2 years later if you do the right thing.
Exactly. You never know. The whole point is you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So if you find out at 37, at 47, whatever, you find out, and now your life just changes when you get the right information. One of my favorite mentors told me, he said the only difference between a wealthy person and a not wealthy person is information. Wealthy people, they educate themselves.
Right.
Poor people entertain themselves. Wealthy people have big libraries. Poor people have big TVs.
Kevin said
fact.
that.
Yeah, that's a fact, though.
Right.
That's
Right.
a fact.
And,
That's a fact, though.
and when I learned about Lamborghini, they said, oh, we don't have commercials because our audience
Don't
doesn't
watch
sit
TV.
there and watch
That's
TV.
a fact.
That's like, you
That's
know
a
what?
fact.
That it makes you
That's
think.
but
Y'all touched that though
true.
earlier
But wait,
when
but
y'all
wait.
said, when y'all something y'all said earlier though.
Yeah.
that's a misconception in the sense that they do advertise, but they don't have commercials. As in, if you look at high end stuff, everything that's high end, they advertise it around high end things. The most expensive cars and the most expensive clothes are not. They don't have commercials, but we see them in movies and we see them in music videos.
So you
Right.
know what he's saying?
Endorsement. They get
So
But-
that's what they show
endorsed.
you. The most higher reach stuff.
Right.
It's not advertised.
But it's not
Yeah.
through TV.
Because the
It's
poor
not
can
by
afford it.
flicking
Right, it's
the
not-
channel.
But guess what? Guess who tries to get all of
The
this
poor.
stuff?
The poor.
That's how the economy works.
The poor.
Because all the money that they have, they go to invest. They thinking, I'm gonna
rich.
get this, I'm gonna get that, and they wake up tomorrow, they ain't got.
You got poor
I'ma
people
tell you
we
something.
see every day. You got Gucci outfits from head to toe. And
Right.
They live right in the project. So
Yeah,
they live
and
in
they
the
got
apartment.
bedpost turkey
That's what
inside
I'm
their
trying to
The poor have on Dior.
They're like, yo, at least I look rich.
But this is not about. This is not about. But the main, just on a statistical standpoint, 5% of the population makes all of the real money in the whole entire world.
That's a fact.
Only
Yeah.
5% of the population. The rest of the 95%, sometimes they don't even have $500 saved.
Oh, how you?
Okay, and that's 95%
Most
of the
people don't.
population,
Yeah,
that's
right?
true.
And 5%, those are your Trumps, your Kim Kardashians, your investors,
Yeah.
because they found a way. And then 1% of the population, that's the elite part of the population. Those are the people that are witty. You might say, you know, you might think of them like, you know what? They're cunning, they're lazy. They're finding a way to have their money go out and make money for them,
The scammers.
right? That's like somebody saying. Did you say the scammers?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about
The
the
You do
scammers.
not
Entrepreneurs.
advertise
No,
those type of
entrepreneurs.
individuals.
Yeah,
Right, no.
entrepreneurs.
Only entrepreneurs.
The legal ones.
But I'm talking about investor and the really wealthy. But what happens is it's almost like filling up a bucket, right? If you were paid to fill up this bucket and you're done for the day, why would you put one hose in it? You're gonna put 7 holes so you can just get it over in 30 minutes
More social income.
instead of being there, you know.
Okay,
And that's
okay.
a prime example of multiple sources, you know,
Yeah.
multiple streams. You know what I'm saying? So.
Facts.
If you don't get onto the right side of money, I don't care when you get into it, but you have to get into the right side of money. Get onto the right side of money,
That's a fact.
and educate yourself.
Knowledge is power.
A lot of people are skeptical when it comes to trading, right? Especially when it comes to investing in the stock market. We see the recent crash of crypto where
Yeah, man.
Bitcoin was down. You know,
millions.
Bitcoin was the number one crypto. When Bitcoin went down, some say because of the Democrats and because of the Chinese. You know, the Chinese banned crypto, and then Elon Musk, he went on TV and he was like, okay, first he was amping Dogecoin on, then he went on and said, oh no, he don't really deal with Dogecoin. Then Tesla, most of Tesla's money didn't really come from cars; it came from their investment into Bitcoin. And so like he also manipulated that market and said, oh, he don't really trust Bitcoin, so then the price goes down. Everybody knows when the price goes down, that's when people have money could buy it for cheap. So then we see like people like Elon Musk could just manipulate the market at will. So how much can you really trust it? Because last year we seen on Robinhood what happened with what was it, GameStop. We seen it happen with AMC. We seen it happen with a couple of things where like the stock shot up. Even with Tesla, he split the stock. So like
You're able to buy that cheaper.
yeah, you could buy cheaper, but then his price doubled because it's almost like he's selling the same thing twice.
Yeah.
So we look at that and we're like, this is a manipulation of the matrix in real time. How can we really trust this?
So the answer to that is, first of all, when you are educated about how the market works, we don't talk like this. It doesn't matter, because guess what? When you're in the foreign exchange market, it's different from the stock market. We make money when the market goes up and down. So we don't get alarmed and be like, oh my gosh, Bitcoin went down. We're like, oh shoot, Bitcoin is on sale right now, and let's get it. Whether you have money, whether you're up or not, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin to make money in these markets, okay? In a foreign exchange market, it's one currency that you're trading against another currency, and you're capitalizing off the fluctuation of the market. In a pandemic, everything went down. And who was making money? Foreign exchange traders, but not the stock market.
And the
Because
scammers.
the stock market, the stock market is to corporations, and the foreign exchange market is to currencies. Currencies, when you learn how to trade this market, right? You know that Bitcoin and all the coins was up. It never did a big pullback. It's due for a pullback.
Yeah,
so
of course.
the typical person who's not educated on it, they think Elon Musk did this whole thing, right? But it might have affected, but it was bound to happen. The market moves in waves. It moves up and it moves down. The market will never ever keep going on an uptrend and you just catch in on any time. No. How foreign exchange traders do.
Everything.
No, no, it's not about winning. It's about the market goes up and it comes down. it goes up and
Of
comes down.
course,
It's
of
like
course.
stair steps.
That we
So-
know, but we also know that the news, media, politics, and certain influencers could manipulate the market too.
Some Elon. Let me tell you something.
No, she agreed with
Bitcoin.
that. She just said
right.
doesn't do it in
Right,
in
it's
big
not. It's
capacity
3,000
like
over
she did.
3,000 coins.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is the head coin, okay. But this is altcoin season, okay. So what happens is you just have to educate yourself on it and stop thinking about Dogecoin. A lot of times we laugh at that. We're like, you know what? Okay, some people bought it before a penny and it went up to 70 something cents. But that's in hype. That's a hype coin.
Yeah,
you
of
know,
course,
people
yeah.
don't. That's what the people that's not even the 95%. First, you need to follow. People are going around following the wrong people. You have to follow
That's
around the
definitely
people
true.
that are really that know what they're doing and that are educated. So you can't just go around following a follower. That's
Following
not how it
trends,
works.
you're saying?
No, meaning
Following
following the wrong people.
Yeah, trends like because a lot of people have the fear of being left out. So whenever they see something trending, whether it's on Reddit or on TV, that's the stock that they automatically invest in.
Right.
One of the good stocks that I saw trending that I invested in was Canadian Rail, I believe it's called. It's a Canadian railroad company that has went up a lot over the years. And the way I found out about that was during Bill Gates' divorce. They mentioned that as one of the stocks that he had given his wife. And when I looked at that stock and I looked at it over the last 15 years, like the stock never went down. It went straight up. So
But it's going to come down.
it's going to come down, but
Right.
that's a
And then
reliable
it's-
thing
and
though.
then that's when it's on sale. And you don't jump out the stock. What you do, you just hold it.
But that's a reliable stock though, like because we know railroads in Canada, like they're gonna need that to transport heavy things
That's
back and
subjective.
forth.
Whatever you know, reliable, unreliable. You can't depend on a job. Period. Right. So you can't depend on a corporation. What we know is the cryptocurrency, the current foreign currency market. It will never crash like a stock market. Never. So the stock market, it crashes every 8 years or something like that. What Bitcoin just did is a pullback. It's not a crash. You get what I'm saying? The foreign exchange market has never crashed and it never will. It's been around for 2,000 years.
You foreign, you don't crash.
Right? Because no one could own a country. All we do is we don't care if the value of a dollar is low or the Japanese yen is low or high. We don't care. We trade it against another one and make money.
Technically, people can own a country.
No,
I mean, no, but meaning-
you know what he said about Canadian railroads, right? It stuck in my mind because I said, let's just say like off the world, catastrophe happened and all the land is covered with water. Guess what?
Well,
He don't make no money no more because they don't need the trains. They don't need the
Exactly. Right. If a
So
catastrophe
you only
happens,
stuck as son just being
if a tsunami happens.
right. You only stuck as one thing being like an absolute. There's no such thing as one thing being an
Right.
absolute.
well, the tsunami's not gonna happen in Canada though. Come
We
on.
don't- They got all type of stuff happening now. We
You
don't
never,
know.
you
We
never
can't
know.
call it. They got mosquitoes running around. They
Now
got
that-
artificial
Look at this
mosquitoes
pandemic.
running
Nothing is
We got
guaranteed.
Drake.
That's
It
another
ain't
thing. How many
happening in the
people
city.
lost their jobs in the COVID?
Right.
You know how many
that's true.
people
A lot
lost
of
their
people
jobs?
And that's
Yeah,
why a lot of
they didn't
people
expect
started.
these things.
But to me though, come on now, like a lot of people, they say a lot of people was down COVID, but a lot of people was coming down.
No, you thinking about the scammers. You talking
I'm just talking about in general. You talking about scammers? I'm talking about people that took their PPP.
no unemployments and the PPPs and all that. No.
None of
People
that.
came up because they decided to think. This is the time where people actually started to think outside the box. Normally, the average person does not think. We're the only species that will walk around and not think for years. We're the only species that has the luxury of choice. And a lot of times, 95% of the population chooses to be comfortable.
Yeah, because
And they go to work every single day. I'm not down on jobs at all,
we
but
don't
I'm just big on opportunity. All right. When you only have a job and you're not working on your empire, building your empire, that's when you're gonna run into a problem. And 40 years later, you won't have anything because your boss will never pay you to be his neighbor. Period. So you have to. So you're making his wife live comfortable. See, it never excited me to build somebody else's empire. You get what I'm saying? Like being at a job, I was like, oh no, I can't. So it was kind of like
fulfilling somebody else's.
yeah. But this is part of entrepreneurship is taking risk. You know, you take risk, and that's what investors do. They take risk
and prosper.
Speaking of taking risks, because this is a good one. Like I was speaking to one of my friends the other day, and they said that the reason why
we all entrepreneurs here.
they said that the only reason why they don't take risks is because they're afraid to fail.
Right.
And I was saying basically like, yo, you already failed to try if you don't try at all.
Right.
But
you don't make any shots, you ain't shoot.
But recently I was listening to an interview and the person mentioned Kanye, and then Kanye was like, a lot of the words that we use within the English language is redundant. Like it doesn't really fit what is going on. We use a lot of dead words. And perfect example, good morning. What's so good about a morning? Like morning is when you're suffering and you complain about something.
And you don't even like mornings.
Yeah. See, sometimes I say great day.
Exactly.
I say great day, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I say great morning. I don't say good.
But
I say great morning. Yeah.
the example that he gave is the word trying. How can you try something? It's either you do it or you don't.
Right.
That's the key. It's funny
because
you
people are programmed. We're in a negative society where, you know, people have negative paradigms that they grow up with for years, and as you notice, if you notice, it gets passed down from people that gave up on money, people that are depressed, people that are just getting through life. Most people die at 25, but they don't really die until 75 because they conform. And conformity is you don't want to do that, right? And you're conforming to society, and you know, people don't think. You know, as you know, if you notice, if you get most people, if you walk around, you say, good, how you doing? I'm all right. Everybody is programmed for, I'm all right. It's okay. I can, I can't call it. I might spoil it. Right. You know, they might, everything.
Blessed, though,
right. They might say I'm blessed on one thing, but a lot of the times they're talking down.
It's like a robot. They're programmed in a way.
Right. But that's where their frequency is, though.
True.
Their frequency is really there.
It's true.
That's why a lot of people, I don't deal with you if your frequency is too low. I can't.
Facts.
Right? If your frequency is low, because that's contagious. You are the average of the 5 people you hang around. So if I hang around 5 negative people, then I'm going to be the 6th one.
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying?
That's a big fact.
No, I had to get rid of a lot of negative friends because they wake up. They'll send you negative texts, even if it's stuff on social media. That's all they look at is negative stuff.
Negativity.
Yeah.
That's all they look at. I had to cut certain friends off completely, but I had to learn that. I learned that a year and a half ago.
Contagious though.
Right, I didn't know that you had to cut negative people off. So you learn stuff every day.
Can't hang with them too much.
No, because it's contagious. And how could you get to where you're going and you're programmed for success? If I'm programmed for success, how can you have to pre-play your future and not replay the past?
Facts.
You just got to keep pre-playing what you want. Look at pictures. Look at, you have to have that $100 bill on your mirror with $1 million on it, seeing it every single day. And speaking into existence while you're putting in the work now.
Yeah.
But if you keep replaying what happened to you and what I don't have, you have to be grateful. Yeah. And practice gratitude every single day.
Even if you got to wake up with one Benjamin in your face every morning.
No, you have to think about what it is that you want and look at it. Print out the magazine pictures, print out everything that you want. Think bigger. The first thing that changed everything for me was reading the book Think and Grow Rich
by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite books.
That right there changed everything for me. I said, oh my gosh, I never even thought of having $1 million a month, 50,000 a month. I'm just, I never.
That he said in that book, not to cut you off, something that he said in that book that always stuck in my mind. He said that a genius was someone that had creative imagination. And I always, sometimes we grow up thinking a genius is somebody that could pass an IQ test. He said a genius is someone that has creative imagination.
Walt Disney.
Because he thinks.
Steve Jobs, Kanye West.
If you don't think, you don't get anywhere.
We all got a gene here.
One of the parts in the book that stood out to me a lot was when they was talking about Ford. When Ford was building his steam engine powered car, and everybody said that he couldn't do it. So he paid these people For the first 3 months, they said that they couldn't do it. Next 6 months, they said they couldn't do it.
Yep.
9 months went by, they couldn't do it. A year went by, he couldn't do it. He said, I don't care how much it takes, how much it costs, you're going to do it.
Right.
And then eventually they did it.
Right.
And then Congress even took him to court because he made so much money by doing such an innovative thing.
Right.
And it was like, what makes you so special? Like, how are you able to do all these things? And it was like, and he was like, I'm not an expert in every single field, but I have a Rolodex. Within this Rolodex, I have a lot of individuals with different skills. And then he said, because I have these experts within my disposal, they're able to connect me or able to do things, so I don't have to be an expert in everything. I just got to be the one facilitating it.
Right.
And that put me in a leader mindset. And is what I was telling y'all earlier about the company, in the sense that, like, I didn't know how far I was going to take it. Because the other day I got a Facebook memory from 2017 when we was on episode 1, and it never looked anything like this. And then it was saying basically like, sorry. And I told myself in real time, because in 2017 I wrote it down. I was like, yo, I'm gonna make history one day, just off of this. And it went from 1 episode at the first season, and now we 165 episodes later with 3 companies. So it's like when you start in the basement and no one is able to see that vision, but then you're able to see it because you have that imagination and you have that God in you. You don't let man stop you, because a lot of people say you can't do it, like you won't make it. It don't make sense what you're doing, like, huh? Like, yeah. So like the same thing that y'all go back to say, like, it's a mindset. A lot of people stuck in the same mindset, you know, that 9 to 5, and I work a 9 to 5. Like, I have a 9 to 5 office job. I did the conventional college route. I did all that. But at the same time, I'm an entrepreneur too. Like, I got my own things that I'm working on. So
building an empire.
I'm serving with 2 hands. So, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with having a job now.
Yeah. It helps me finance.
You have to finance, but you use it for what you got to use it for.
Yeah, so you finance your
9 to 5 is cool, but don't forget about your 5 to 9.
Nah. But I always tell people you got to have at least 5.
Be your savings.
But I always tell people you have to have at least 5 streams of income. Like, if you got 5 solid streams of income, then you can really live comfortable. Like, but the more streams of income you add to it, the closer you get to like making a lot of money. Like, when I was younger, I was making $300 a week. That was when I was maybe 17, 18. I thought I was the man. Like, back then I had like 3 hustles. Like, I used to sell clothes, I used to work at McDonald's, and I used to deal with the Reggie. I thought I was the man. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm the man. I got the block a lot. So like now,
I'm working like 60 hours a week.
Yeah, I was probably working like 12, 15 hours a week. Like, I was part-time. Yeah, McDonald's. McDonald's. Yeah, me and him used to work at McDonald's together. Right. Yeah, so I used to take that McDonald's money. I used to do what I gotta do. Like, and I felt like the man. Now, $300 a week? Nah, that's like a day. Like, yeah, bro. That's stress. You probably about to do that.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
300 kids.
Yeah, now you can make 300 in a day, 400, 1,000 in a day now.
Right.
But back then when I was 17, I couldn't see it. I was like 300 a week. I'm up. Yeah, so it do come to a mindset. But tell people about the business, because I know you're part of the business and so are you. And you know, like, I see you guys pushing into the culture. When I say culture, I'm talking about black and brown people, for those that don't know. Why should they get involved into this? Because we was talking about this on our way here to the studio about how under Trump, black people got more involved in business, and the SBA has been around for years. Like, that's not something that came about. The Small Business Administration always been here for a while. And it's like these loans been here and it's always been forgivable, just that regular people didn't really know. And it's like, if we was to keep it 100, Trump put us on, because Obama didn't put us on to the SBA or these other people. So
shout out to
he put you on because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
that happened under his administration. If that didn't happen, then he wouldn't put you on.
No. What I'm saying is
small businesses that opened under the Trump administration before the pandemic even happened.
A lot, yeah, of course.
A a lot of black-owned businesses that open doors.
Oh, well, Trump and Obama is two different people.
No,
That's a
Trump
fact.
has a different background, and
comparing
Obama
them.
has a
I'm
different
just saying,
background.
it just so happened under his administration.
I hate when people try to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
Obama like he was supposed to save the
So
world.
he was.
Like the face.
That's why I said I'm not comparing them. That's why I said I'm not comparing
Right.
nobody. I'm
Right.
just saying, like, it
yeah.
just so happened that under the Trump administration, the black business population
But guess
has
what though?
boomed up.
You know the thing, not to get on this Barack stuff, but one thing about black folks, when we get in the place, especially in the place that Barack was in, you have to show a lot more class
that's
and
a
a lot
fact.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
you gotta be more. You can't show. See, so Trump could get away with being the
Right.
the
The
white
crime
gangster,
star.
the privilege, the Joker.
Right.
It's all
he
about
can't
money.
do that because if Obama did that, he'll be like, yo, it's typical. He should have never got there.
Right. So Barack has to
They'll say he a
show.
nigga.
I gotta show
Exactly.
class. I
Pretty
gotta
much.
show
I ain't
my
gonna say that,
wife.
but pretty much.
I gotta show my wife. I gotta show my kids. I'm a
That's a
lawyer
fact.
at that. So
Exactly.
already I have a high IQ. I'm a lawyer.
Right.
So I'm not going to be speaking like a businessman that it was passed on to, and he didn't really have to do nothing for it and stuff.
That's a
Who
fact.
also, let's not forget, had a bunch of bankruptcy in his time and all that.
But bankruptcy is not bad
No, it's
in
game.
business.
It's game.
It's
but
game.
It's
yeah.
game.
You gotta
but in
know
the
how to
sense-
work this game, bro, because a lot of
Bankruptcy
millionaires,
not
bro,
bad,
they
man.
stay filing for bankruptcy, bro. You hear in the media, on the news, oh, this rapper or this person filed for bankruptcy. Automatically the hood, oh, this nigga broke. Oh, he must be going broke.
Nah,
bro.
There's 13 different types of
It's a way
bankruptcy
not
that
to
you
pay
can
business,
file.
back.
bro.
It's just
It's
a way of not
business.
paying back money.
There's,
That's
You know what I'm saying?
there's 13
business, bro.
there's 13 different types of bankruptcy that you could fill.
There you go.
That you could fill out
There you
because
go.
that's one of the courses I took in school,
There you
like
go.
bankruptcy law.
But guess what?
I
Most
work in
people think it's
bankruptcy
just
law.
one. Most people think once you file for bankruptcy, you broke. That's it.
Nah.
You feel me? They don't really know.
We don't even put
They don't know
that
the
out.
game. They don't
Some
know
people
the
do what's called
Right.
reconsolidation, like where they just sell everything that they have and then they just open a business under a different name. Yeah, that's light game, but most people don't know about that. It's like when you got a club and the club gets shot up, so when it gets shot up, they take away the license and the club shut down, and then the club open back up on a different name to get the license again.
Same owner.
Yeah.
Not to get too so I'm gonna let my mentor Mary kick it to y'all about what we doing.
But we're not doing a full presentation.
yeah,
But if they do wanna,
Tell the
get
people.
one, we do it 8 o'clock Monday through Friday. So we can drop the Zoom link, and
It'll be in the description, of course.
yeah, we'll drop the Zoom
Viewers
link.
discretion advised.
But you guys, I'm waiting for you guys to tell us a little bit about it. Matter of fact, what got you into this, Mr. China?
What got me into it is the fact that I can see you can make more money with it. And even in the aspect of making more money, you want to learn a skill. So this is why Mr. China has a mentor, Miss Mary.
Exactly.
I'm gonna pass the ball. You do your
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Basically people get into learning about the foreign exchange market and trading because they don't want to hit a ceiling. Jobs, and they can give you ceilings. This right here is unlimited. So if it took you 2 years to learn this type of skill set, put it like this: one of my mentors, he made his first $1 million in 2019 in the foreign exchange market. Now he's up maybe 25 from 100 million or something like that, right? Yeah. But then it started off with $500, right? Just growing an account and learning a skill set. This is a skill set where my mentors, they make $250,000 in a minute, $50,000 in a minute, and it's something where, is he mad that he learned this skill set 4 years ago? No, because he's making what people make in 40 years in 1 minute. You get what I'm saying? People will never ever see this kind of money, but people think that success is overnight, and it's not. So his overnight success took 4 years. Learning the skill set and making things happen. It took 4 years. Some people could take 1 year.
So
it
what
could
would
take 3
success
months.
be for you?
So now to actually know where you're going is success for me, right? So yeah, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm already a millionaire. It's just that my back office has to catch up. You get what I'm saying? So as long as you know where you're going and you have the right mentors, I'm going to get exactly who the people I study from, the greats. I'm getting what they get, But I learned about this market last year. You get what I'm saying? Now, people might ask you, are you a millionaire? You can learn in 3 months. And they're like, no, you got to get rid of that mindset. This is not a get rich quick. Get rich over time. So See, trading to make you rich. The other part of the game that we have to talk about, but we really can't talk about that today, is the residual income part. That'll make you wealthy. Residual income will make you wealthy, right? And that's where we do the affiliate marketing and stuff like that. But that's for another time when I have a presentation on the thing, right? But so as long as you're, to me, to actually learn about a market that's trading over $7 trillion a day is where you want to be, right? Compared to the stock market, this market trades over 7 trillion a day. The stock market trades up to like 200 billion a day or something like that. 9 to 5, 5 days a week. This market is open 5 days a week, 24 hours a day. Cryptocurrency, you can trade it 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's true.
So why wouldn't you? It's a no-brainer. You know, learn how to invest. The only two ways you're going to become filthy rich or rich period is investing and owning a certain type of business where you can make the money work for you without working for it. If you keep gone are the days where you just keep trading your time for money.
So what's some good things to invest in right now?
It's not about well, when you trade in this market, the market moves the same way. So we don't care. I'm not talking about stocks. You sound like that's kind of like
no. I'm talking about like in general, like
coins. Well, put it like this: when you're trading in the foreign exchange market, we're not we're investing, but we can trade any currency pair. It doesn't matter. The market moves in waves, and it hits certain levels and rejects.
No, I'm talking about like outside of the stock market, outside of cryptocurrency. What's the best things to invest in right now? Like,
yourself.
Why?
Because the biggest investment is the one that you make in yourself. True. And that's getting into any type of investment market. Foreign exchange happens to be the largest investment market, right? The largest financial market in the world is the foreign exchange market, right? So educate yourself on that. And if they want more information, they can jump on a Zoom with me, right? Any night at 8 o'clock, right? And I'll tell them exactly how they can get started. Because most people think it costs a lot of money to start investing. And no. As of 7 years ago, regular people can start trading for profits in this market because the restrictions were uplifted. Before 7 years ago, you had to be a bank, hedge funds, institutions with minimum 5 million and a minimum 500,000. Now you can invest with $50 in the foreign exchange market because everything is uplifted. But people don't know that yet. Only 5% of the people. So invest in yourself, learn how to get into this market, open up an account, start trading, learn a skill set. And the dope thing is how we trade is we have mentors that teach you, but they also trade right alongside with you on a live stream.
So if you had advice to the young women out there, because you know the young men and young women, especially young black men and young black women, we see how they living right now. And one of the things you said was to invest. Some of
them living good,
some of them are, but a lot of us not.
Right, I know, majority.
It's like 5%, 95%.
Exactly.
Show it on.
So like,
some people,
So like if you had to give advice to these young women, because you said the most important thing to invest in is yourself, what advice would you give to these young women?
Believe bigger, much faster. So, because first of all, if you don't believe that you deserve to live a certain kind of life, you will never get it. Okay,
Bible tell you that.
Right. If you don't believe if you don't believe and program your mind on, bigger goals and set goals, it's belief in goals. Okay, so you're never going to get anything, right? So that's number one. Number two is, it would be take action. Because if you don't take action, then you're not going to go anywhere. See, it's called, first you got to think and grow rich. It's not work and grow rich. Construction workers will be filthy.
Create the method.
Right? But it's getting the knowledge. Knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge is power. We all know that, right? Because if it was power, then librarians will be filthy.
One of the examples they give is if knowledge was power, then the professors and the universities would all be rich.
Oh, don't get me started.
That's a fact.
Kevin said how, right?
Look, they teaching you theory.
you know, you thinking about the how. Don't worry about the how.
Don't worry about the how. Just go. Right, exactly. Most people are they have to be so calculated. They want to know. They want to know where they're. You have to know where you're going, but they want to know how they're going to do it instead of just acting on it and taking 1%. Rich people, they get 1% better every day. They don't care.
Take risk and process.
We most people that are with the poorer mentalities and in a poor situation, they want to get 100% fast next week. I mean, they want to get there 100% next week.
Thanks.
And billionaires lose millions to become billionaires. But poor people don't even want to lose $100 to become 100,000. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense to these people. You know, you have to build your mindset up and get around different mentors.
You gotta spend thousands.
No, I was gonna say
most people are walking around. Most people, period. They're hanging around the wrong people because you're spending hours a day with negative friends when you're really supposed to be spending 10 minutes with them. And the people you're supposed to spend hours with, like your mentors that got what you want to have, you're spending 10 minutes with them, if any time with them.
That's a fact.
So people are backwards. You know, so it just has to be reprogramming and conditioning for, you know, our youth and our adults too. Because just because you're an adult, it's not over.
Yeah, fine.
You know what I'm saying? It's not over. Most billionaires became billionaires at 40 and 50 anyway, right?
What do you think is the biggest?
I'm not gonna take that long.
Well, what do you guys think is the biggest economic change from when we were younger to now currently? Who would like to start that?
What change?
Yeah.
Like, the one thing I can say from back then and now, like people are more materialistic. 1, 2, people are more lazy. Like, they have, like they say, they dream big, but they have a minimum wage effort mindset.
Work ethic.
It's like they dream big. They're like, yo, I want this. I want to live in a mansion, $1 million car and everything, but they just go with this whole manifesting thing, thinking like, if I manifest it, everything just gonna come to me. God's just going to lay it on my lap one day because I prayed 6 times a day or 10 times a day.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen. Their work ethic is small.
Yeah.
But they have big goals and their work ethic, it doesn't match. It got to be on the same frequency.
Yeah, like I know that because that's really my generation. Like I ain't gonna front, like I was one of those individuals too, but I had to break out that cycle, and I don't hang with those type of people like that. I just keep it more like a high buy. If we ain't talking business, why we talking?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Like,
if I can't build with you, I can't share with you.
Yeah, and they look at you different when you look at that. They're like, "Oh, you fake." Like, man, like y'all wanna do. Y'all not trying to build here.
You don't have to explain yourself either, so.
I don't even really explain myself. I just dip and go.
I'm trying to see.
Or for more what you said earlier about the $300 a week and how you felt like it was a big thing. Well, back in the 90s and in the late 80s, $300 a week was some money.
Yeah.
That was like a bed or
right,
what?
So meaning that
was like a bed.
like you hear dude had $300-400 a week.
It was the man.
He's doing something. But it goes to show you the value of money change.
It goes up.
So now it's like the fact that now you think about a dude with $1 million. You think about a millionaire, you say, oh, well, he's just making it.
Yeah.
So $1 million just making it and all that. What you think about like all the 9-to-5s getting 45, 50,000, 90,000 a year?
They think they lit.
Even then, some of them be thinking they lit with 150 a year and all that.
So what you think changed the most from when you was younger than now?
It's just the
Internet.
value of money. You know, well, the internet too, right?
the internet,
but the value of money though. The $1,000 doesn't mean nothing like how it meant back in the 90s and the 80s.
The value of
You
money
gotta
definitely
flip that
changed.
thing 10 more times so it could be at least 10K.
Like, I feel like one thing that changed, like one thing that he mentioned, is like people get complacent. Like they want to have like everything. You feel me? They feel like they want the mansion. They want the life. Like they wake up, they watch the people on TV, and they feel like they're gonna sit in front of the TV and they're gonna emulate it by just watching TV all week.
Right.
Like I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna watch him be a millionaire. I'm gonna watch him on house. I'm gonna watch him on cribs. He's showing off. He got an elevator in his crib.
And
he
I'm
got a waterfall in his
satisfied with
backyard. You feel me? And I'm just sitting here in my box apartment. You feel me?
And I'm
watching, and I get out. I'm Gucci'd up. I'm this. I'm that, and I'm putting a facade. You feel me? But it's not really matching up to everything. You feel me? But you gotta have everything lined up for you to be successful. Because at the end of the day, if you're not speaking, you can speak it, but if you're not putting in the work to back it up,
you have to get around the people you want to be to have the results.
Exactly.
And that's faithful works.
That's the only way you're gonna get it. So school can't teach you it, right?
And time wasted, you don't ever get back.
Right.
That's
School
one thing I
teaches you
learned.
how to be a more.
To teach you how to be a slave.
No, how to be a worker.
Exactly, because that's what college is about. Like you go to work, you graduate college,
Go to school.
you get a loan, and you pretty much work.
No,
like,
you get
10 years to pay a loan.
good job. You go to school, get a degree to get a good job.
Exactly.
It's not
To-
nothing new.
Pay your bills, but make sure you know.
But you know, and it teaches you basically how to have one job, and you have about 40 bills coming out that one account every month instead of having multiple streams. And they don't teach you influence. They don't teach you anything like that in regular.
That's why a lot of time they classify a lot of bright individuals as being stupid, right? Because they give them an IQ test. Like it's like being a monkey, right? Or being a fish. If you give a fish an IQ test on how to climb a tree, he's gonna be an idiot his whole life.
He's gonna think he's an idiot.
He's gonna think he's an idiot his whole life.
I love that you say that. You brought a point to me.
Nah,
I used to always tell people
bro.
that if we both look at the same wall, right, and I seen on the wall a month earlier than you that it was a crack on the wall, and then you come and look at the wall with me, and I picked the crack out quicker than you. That don't make me smarter than you. I just know I knew it was there first.
That's it.
I'm not smarter than you. I just know it was there first.
But then they belittle a lot of people. They make them feel like you don't know what you're talking about. Sit down, you stupid. You feel me? And that's where a lot of people fuck up. You gotta
Not
out the
today
cycle.
though. Those cycles are done. Like
Yeah.
because you got the A students working for the C students.
Hey, that's a fact.
That's fun. It's cool.
So entrepreneurs are. It doesn't degrees.
It's gonna be the same.
That's not the
not the way
standard
to go.
of making it nowadays.
That's not the way to go.
Everybody I know with degrees is broke.
So what?
That's what. A lot-
So what? Wait, I have a degree. I'm not broke.
I mean, in a without the entrepreneurship with it.
Yeah, I mean.
Degrees is for a job.
Yeah. I did my last degree for myself, and because honestly, growing up in school, like I used to do it for my parents, and when I got older, I was like, all right, let me see. And for a while, like I was just working, doing other things, starting these businesses, and then I went back to school. But this time I went back to school, it was for myself in the sense that I wanted to see like can I still be disciplined to excel in someone else's curriculum? So that was just something that I had to try out.
So you decided. I love to hear these questions. Like, so why did you get to do? Why did you? So you did it just to see if you can study and pass a test?
Yeah, and see how high I could score this time around at a higher level compared to how I did in undergrad prior.
And then if you study high, then what?
Nothing.
If you pass high, then what?
All right, I'll give you a perfect example. In undergrad, I graduated with a 2.7 GPA. In my master's, I graduated with a 3.7 GPA.
Okay. So you studied more.
Not really studied more because I actually didn't study much at all.
You applied yourself?
Yeah, and then I used the knowledge that I've learned on my own because I, just like how you were saying, like, all right, me personally at my house, I probably got like a 50-inch TV. Like that's kind of small, but I have a big bookshelf, so I keep books. And remember, we own a nonprofit charity, so every time we have a lot of people that support that are affluent people. So whenever the affluent people die, they donate nice things to us. You understand? So one of the things that they often donate, like you guys said, is they usually have a lot of books in their houses.
Right.
Like you guys know from when we go to the houses, they be having books for days. That's why you see books stacked here. I got books at the house.
Right.
Like
so you didn't buy those books? No.
There's some books I buy, but majority of the books I don't buy. No. Yeah, majority of books. Yeah, I have a lot of books everywhere. I got a place. I got books there. But yeah, like for me, the thing that changed a lot is the power of the dollar. Me personally, I didn't see my real first paper dollar till the age of, I would say 10, 11. Because from when I came to America at 2 to the age of 9, 10, I was on public assistance. We had food stamps back then when it came in different color, like color money. Like, you know, you had the brown $1, you had the red, you had the green, you had the purple.
I don't remember that.
And then, back then. Food stamps came in every color.
Oh, in a booklet.
Yeah, in a booklet. Yeah. And then you had the WIC checks where you had to sign, you get the juicy juice in the can with the kicks and and the milk. That's the only 3 things you can really get with WIC.
Black and white boxes.
Yeah. So like me, when I first see my paper dollar, I was like, what the? I was like, this a regular dollar. What is this? Because I'm used to like the colored money, and my dad was like, that's $1. I said, all right. And then like from my dad introducing me to $1, like he always put in my mind that like you always gotta double the dollar before you spend it once.
That's a fact.
So I come from a family where my father did do the 9 to 5, but he was an entrepreneur in the sense that he would put his money in real estate, and he knew how to break stuff down, like, you know, like break it down. And then he always found a way to make even more. You know, I can't. It's a camera, but he was smart enough where he was able to put four kids through college. And you know, the way he was always able to do it, he was saying that I have to, while my time is on earth, I have to build something where I could leave it for my children. Like that was always the thing that he imputed into me. Right? Yeah. So like that's how I seen money. I seen money from where like I was getting from the government, then I was getting it from my parents, and then I had to get it for myself. Like by 15, 16, I was like, yeah, I gotta get my own clothes. Like I stopped going clothes shopping with my mom. Like me and my brother, like we found ways, we did what we had to do, and we got good at it, you know.
Buy your own drip.
So that's how I see money. Even till this day, like I would never just have one hustle. Like that's foolish, because a table with only one leg, once that one leg is cut, then it's clipped. Just like this one, if you cut the middle one, it's clipped for this table. But if you got multiple legs, then even if you wobbling or leaning to one side, you still defying gravity.
It's still standing.
Exactly. So that's how I see it. Like money for me is just something that's gonna get me to the next level.
Money's a tool.
Yeah, like me, I don't even count my expenses anymore. I just gotta make sure that I make enough money where it's still there, you know. And then whatever I get, I throw it into different accounts and forget I got it. And then, you know, sometimes it multiplies, sometimes you lose, but that's just what it is. It gotta keep flowing in order for it to come. Mm-hmm. So
who said people's not, you know?
But your turn. You gotta tell us, like you from when you was younger to now. Like, how do you see things different?
Well, totally. I believe we were lied to from jump.
That's a fact.
And we were set up for failure.
Right. From K to 12, right?
From K to
12,
you know,
college,
and college. Yeah, I believe that.
No offense to the college people.
No, and at all. Get your degree. Whatever you love, do. You know, just don't forget about, you know.
You don't need to go to college to learn business.
I
don't know.
We're not down on none of that stuff, but you know.
I didn't go for that.
So what did you learn changed the most?
My belief system.
And
you know, in period, believing bigger, faster. Like I didn't learn to program your mind for greatness. Mm-hmm. I've always hustled hard, but it's difference between greatness and hustling hard and working hard. Mm-hmm. I grew up on a belief system where you have to work and hustle hard and work 8 jobs and never have any time. That was glorified. Mm-hmm. It was cool to not have any time. Oh, I'm busy. I can't go. I'm busy. I'm working. Losing time from your loved ones and your friends, your family, your loved ones was cool. I mean, people didn't like, but they're like, listen, I can't go. I'm working. You know, it was all like that, and that was just the wrong way of thinking. You know, we got to work smarter. No one ever taught me how to invest.
Right. That's a fact.
Or anything like that. We weren't taught that.
And that's a fact. You see how you mentioned we were talking about with the whole business thing and the car. Mm-hmm. One thing we also spoke about was a little it could be Italian or a non-black kid. Mm-hmm. At 5 years old, his dad is teaching him how to manage money. Mm-hmm. At 10 years old, his dad is teaching him how to trade. Yep. By the time he's 18 years old, he has a life insurance for $100,000 or probably $500,000 or $1 million. He has a hedge funds. He has this. He has IRA account. He has all of that lined up. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. Like certain things is passed down. Like all of us pass down to us. They pass down recipes.
No, but it's true.
Right.
How to make certain chicken.
Right. Because we never had millionaires in our family. Right. So are you going to be the next millionaire in your family? Right. Exactly. That's what it boils down to. Are you going to leave the legacy? That's why we don't know our great-great-grandfathers' names and stuff. Right. They didn't leave legacies. Mm-hmm. You know, they were caught like we were dealt the bad end of the stick.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm. I will create a legacy.
Yeah, create a legacy. Exactly.
You know.
Well, we'll drop a Zoom link, or we'll drop an email where they can go on and request to whenever you would play this video, if they want more information about the foreign exchange market, how to find trades.
You could subscribe.
Since we come towards the end, right? If you could leave people with like one positive message or share one thing that you've learned in life throughout your journey that you like to drop on them, what would it be?
One positive message. Well, I would say for me, it would be when you go after something, don't overestimate a month and underestimate what a year of being consistent can do for you. Okay? Because most people, they want to do something or want it, they want the results, and they'll be like, you know what? If I don't get it in a month, they give up. Right?
Thanks.
But they don't understand that being consistent for 8 months or a year, they underestimate long term, but they overestimate what they can have in a month.
You could have $100, right? You have $100, or you could have $1 million. It's there for 1 month. It's 1 million, but you literally invest that $1 million every single month. It multiplies.
Right. That's the law of compound. Okay. I live by the laws. And the law of compound interest, if you learn it, you earn it. If you don't, you pay it.
Yeah, I just seen that on Stash. Like I was telling you guys earlier, the Canadian Railroad has been making money. So like right now it's giving me a dividend weekly of like $40. And whenever it gives me a dividend of $40, I compound the interest, so that 40 turns to 80, and then I buy another stock.
Right.
Like today I used the residual income from the stocks to buy stocks in Amazon. That's not money out of my pocket. That's just money that the other stocks are making me, and I'm just buying it. So I put half into the Roth IRA, the other half into the market.
Right. Investing.
No.
Ding, 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 ding.
What about y'all guys? Closing thoughts?
Well, closing thought is never too late. You feel me? It's never too late to educate yourself, to get in the right mindset for you to be successful. Because a lot of time you thinking you like 30, 40 years old, you give up. You're like, damn, I let too much time go by. I didn't really make it. But nah, it's never too late.
Right.
That's my thought.
And my thought is, K to 12, college, they tell you, they program your mind to think that 40 to, 100K a year, that's success, man. You can make those in months, so, open your mind.
Think bigger, faster.
Yeah.
China?
My thing is, don't let your past define your future. Sometimes we get caught up in past failures and we forget, future success.
So when you reminiscing on the past, you can't focus on the future.
There you go.
Every day is a gift. Every day you wake up, you have another chance to be your best.
Like, oh my goodness, I wasted $1,000. Oh my goodness.
My closing thought would be that, it's never too late to invest. It's never too late to elevate yourself, like your mind, your body, your soul. Everything comes, and when everything is in unity, that's when things are working at its best. Like the flow of the market is going to be ups and downs. Of course there is. But we know that there's always going to be a bounce back. Tough times don't last, tough people do. And we are resilient people. Resiliency is key to success. The fact that you could take a couple licks and keep going is very important, because there's going to be stumbles, there's going to be falls, but Les Brown always said, if you fall, try to land on your back, because if you could look up, then you can get back up. And I think we need to stay focused on that, especially our people. And I feel like with the platform that we have, we're able to continue to elevate the mind and make you think. And this is the free part of the nonprofit. We give you free game. And, you can always come back and catch this. $1 million worth of game. So, I thank my guests for coming on today. If you want more information on Maryam, we're going to put the link in the description, of course. You can catch her on Facebook, YouTube, Spodify, and everything else. Also catch us on The Brick. We thank everybody that joined us today. You close out with a prayer. Anybody want to volunteer? You want to go, China? Take a break from this. Go ahead.
Father God, thank you for allowing us to be here today. Thank you for allowing us to come here and spread some knowledge amongst your people, Father God. ask you to let us, like we got here safe, I'm asking you to allow us to leave here safe. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen, amen. Thank you, Brother China, for that one.
See y'all next season.
This is the real word, and we see you.
It's the real word. It's the real